What's up guys, it's GranularSumo here. Got another reese-based tutorial for you today. It's like a really distorted, wide sounding reese. Sounds like this. Don't really know what to play to show off the sound, just hitting random notes. Anyway, yeah, that's the sound. So it's following a pretty similar process to how I normally make these basses, but I don't know, I did a couple of things slightly different this time, so thought I'd make another tutorial. So it all starts off with this operator patch. So what I have, I'll turn all this stuff off and I'll solo this one. So that's the initial patch. So I have a sine wave with the fine tuning set to 23, and it's being modulated by a square 3. That's on, the fine is set to 978, and the level is minus 19 dB. I think originally I was automating this level, but I think it ended up sounding better without that, so I just left it how it was. Then that's being modulated by a sine wave with a coarse value of 6, and the level's at minus 28 dB. And then that's also being modulated by a sine wave with the coarse at 4 and the level at minus 11 dB. So then I've got the pitch envelope turned on, and I was just messing with some of these settings a little bit, and this is what it ended up being. You can't really hear it much in the end result anyway, because there's a pitch envelope on the sampler as well, but this is just what the original sound was made up with. So the attack is set to 1.08 milliseconds, so that basically the initial value is at 48 semitones, and then after 1.08 milliseconds or whatever, it drops down to, it gradually drops down over that time to plus 31 semitones, and then over 600 milliseconds it drops fully to the actual pitch, if that makes sense. I don't know how well I just explained that, but you can kind of tell what's happening just by looking at the envelope here. So then I turn the spread up to 54%. And I also duplicated the chain here, and I've processed it slightly different on each one. I did this specifically because someone asked me about separating the sub and things in my bass sounds, and I just wanted to show you that I do this sometimes. If I'm not gonna mangle up the sound loads afterwards and layer a sub underneath, I'll do this instead. Although it didn't end up really needing it, because I've ended up putting spread and things on the sampler and stuff, so it kind of messed the sub up a bit anyway, but it doesn't really matter. I just did it to show you guys what I do in the situation where I want a separate sub. Well, not a separate sub, but to separate the lows, if you know what I mean. So what I had was I have this EQ8 that's just cutting out some of the lows on this chain, and then on this one I just have just the lows with a big boost, because it sounded better after going through the distortion with the boost there. So I'll unsolo that now. So this is what it sounded like with the two things compared to this. So like, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I turned the spread all the way down on this one, just to keep it like centered, if you know what I mean. So then it's going through a chorus on this top chain, the one that's affecting the highs and stuff. Nothing special going on in the chorus. I've just turned the dry wet down and moved this around a little bit. Then it's going through a flanger. I think what I did here, I know this is, again, not much is happening here. I think initially I was messing with the LFO rate and things, but it's still on the Hertz mode and stuff. The dry wet is set to 26.2%, I guess. It's not a big difference, but I think it affects it enough to warrant it being there. And then it's going through an amp. On the blues setting, the dry wet's turned down to 73%. So yeah, this bottom channel is just going through a saturator on the analog clip setting, and the drive's turned up to 4.57. And that's everything like in the group, in the instrument rack. And then it's just going through a glue compressor at the end. Pretty much all the usual settings. Doesn't sound too great at the moment, but yeah, so basically I rendered it out. Then I didn't do anything on it there, I just threw it straight into a sampler. And initially I was just going to use one sampler, but I was just messing around and I thought it sounded kind of cool with the spread and things, so I decided to split it into two samplers. I'm gonna leave that on because that's just there to make sure that everything's not really overly loud for you guys. So yeah, what I did was I threw the sample in one of these samplers. On one of them, it's being modulated by white noise. The volume's at -41 dB and the course is at 4. I don't know why the course is at 4, because it doesn't really make a difference from what I can tell anyway. But yeah, that's what it is. Then the pitch envelope's turned on. It's at +48 semitones and the decay's at 317 milliseconds. And on this one, the spread is turned up to 19% and the detune is turned up to +2 semitones. The wave shape is turned on. It's on the soft clipping algorithm or whatever, and the amount's at 49. I turned the filter off and things, and that's all I did on this one. Like by itself, it sounded like this. It would help if I put it back onto this. So yeah, that's what that sounded like. Then I just duplicated it, turned the spread and the detune down to like 0, and then so I've got it's on the sine shape on this one, and I think so the volume's at -29 dB instead of -41. I haven't changed the pitch bend amount or anything. Haven't changed that at all. I think that's literally all that's going on in this. The only difference is the spread and the detune. Also, I forgot to mention, it's on the glide setting and the time's at 41.4 milliseconds, so you can do the slidey notes. I usually like it a bit longer than that, but I think it works for this sound. So that's everything going on here, I think. Then it's just going through a saturator. It's on the medium curve setting with soft clipping turned on, and I didn't change anything else. It's just it was just for the soft clipping, and to like the medium curve kind of has I don't know, it just has like a nice tone to it. I can't explain it. So yeah, that's it, I think. If you guys want me to do any tutorials on any specific sounds that you like in songs or anything, just leave it in the comments, and any suggestions for making the channel better for you guys will be great. Like all the shit that I normally say. Just, yeah. Watch my other videos as well. That would be very helpful. And check out my stuff on SoundCloud too. Shameless plugging. Anyway, yeah, I'll catch you guys next time.